Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that has sparked a lot of conversation online lately. Have you ever wondered why Solange's son, Jules, chooses not to use the famous Knowles name, even though it could open countless doors in the worlds of fashion and entertainment? We'll be taking a closer look at the rumors, theories, and public statements that have led many people to question the dynamics within the Knowles-Carter family. Is Jules simply trying to build his own legacy, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? There's a lot to unpack here, so make sure you stick around until the end. Let's get into it. In a world where being born into a famous family can feel like the ultimate VIP pass, have you ever wondered why Solange's son, Jules, chooses not to use the Knowles name? The Knowles name is the kind of name that can open doors most people never even get close to seeing. So why leave it off?
It's just like my grandson. Like, nobody talks about Jules. Jules is top 10 male model in the world.
Is Jules focused on creating his own path and making a name for himself? Or have there been private family discussions about keeping the spotlight centered elsewhere, especially with Blue Ivy already being such a high-profile member of the family? Then there's Matthew Knowles, who has publicly suggested that people wanted Jules to embrace the Knowles name even more. According to ongoing rumors and speculation, the situation may be far more complicated than it looks from the outside. Some reports claim there have been feelings of frustration behind the scenes, with talk that Jules has sometimes felt overlooked while Blue Ivy received much of the public attention. Of course, these claims remain unverified, but they've definitely kept people talking. Here's what makes the story even more interesting. Jules is a tall, stylish young man who's working to break into the ultra-competitive world of high fashion. In an industry where a famous last name can instantly grab attention, Jules has reportedly chosen to move forward using his father's surname, Smith, instead of leaning on the Knowles family brand.
Oh, that look good. And I hope you hear me, Jules. You add Jules Knowles Smith.
The official public story is that Jules wants to carve out his own lane and build a career without depending on his family's famous last name. That sounds admirable, and it's certainly possible. But a lot of people online keep asking the same question. Why would someone pass up a name as powerful as Knowles when it can instantly attract attention in entertainment and fashion? That question has sparked plenty of speculation. Some commentators have suggested that Jules may have chosen not to use the Knowles name for branding purposes, while others believe there could be family or business reasons behind the decision. It's important to note that these are only rumors, and there's no public proof supporting many of the claims being made. Still, people continue to debate why someone with access to such a recognizable family name would decide to take a different route.
Uncomfortable with Jules in our DMs because me being Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked, a gay man, I don't want Jules in our DMs. So I would DM him back and say, hey Jules, like, we're not gonna do that, da da da. And then I contacted.
Another theory making the rounds is that the Knowles-Carter brand operates like a very exclusive circle, where each family member is expected to create their own identity rather than rely on the larger family image. As conversations about Jules's last name picked up steam, Matthew Knowles publicly stated that Jules was encouraged to use the Knowles name and that the decision not to use it was his own choice. A lot of observers remain skeptical, though, and some have pointed out what they see as similarities to Solange's early career journey. Matthew Knowles has said more than once that he wanted Solange involved with Destiny's Child in a bigger way. Many fans remember that Solange worked closely with the group, performed as a dancer, and even stepped in during certain periods when lineup changes created challenges.
A friend of mine named Fadia who used to be at Meta, to say, hey, can you please get a message to Solange that her son is in our DMs? He wanted us to help him get verified, a whole bunch of different things. So I told Fadia to go and tell Solange, and I know she would.
Because of that history, some people can't help but wonder if old family discussions are being revisited once again. Back in 2022, Matthew Knowles shared a different version of events regarding Solange's career choices. According to him, Solange simply wasn't interested in joining Destiny's Child because she wanted to create her own path. As he explained, that didn't appeal to her. You would think joining Destiny's Child would be a dream to her, and she had every opportunity to seize the success that the group was experiencing. but she wanted to forge her very own path. He continued by saying, "Solange's desires and faith in herself trumped my personal desires for her. You see, I realized then that she had an unmatched character and an unwavering belief in herself. Me, as a father, could never get in the way of that. I finally supported and encouraged her decision. I didn't fight against it anymore." On the surface, that sounds like a father showing support and respect for his daughter's independence. Still, those comments have fueled plenty of discussion among fans. Some people fully accept Matthew's explanation, while others continue to question whether there may have been additional factors behind certain career decisions. A few observers have even drawn comparisons to current conversations surrounding Jules and the way different members of the family navigate fame. Of course, these are just opinions and theories, not established facts. As those debates continue, attention has also turned to some of Jules's past headlines. Media personality Jason Lee once claimed that when Jules was younger, he had allegedly reached out through Hollywood Unlocked's direct messages for more than casual conversation. According to Lee's account, Jules was reportedly interested in making connections within the entertainment world and was also looking for help getting his social media accounts verified. These claims remain allegations, but they added another layer to the ongoing public fascination surrounding the next generation of the Knowles family. A lot of people have wondered about this situation. If someone comes from one of the most recognizable families in entertainment, why would they reportedly be reaching out to media figures and industry contacts on their own? Some observers have questioned whether family connections could have made certain opportunities easier to access. Others argue that Jules may simply prefer handling things independently and building relationships for himself. No matter where people stand on that debate, Jules has found himself the subject of public attention more than once. One topic that sparked conversation online was his reported connection to reality TV personality and influencer Tommy Lee. Tommy has been open about parts of her legal history, and over the years, her past arrests and court cases have been widely covered by entertainment media. Those headlines have contributed to a public image that many people see as controversial. Because of that reputation, some fans were surprised by reports linking Jules to her. The situation quickly became a hot topic online, with people questioning what may have drawn the two into the same circles. As often happens on social media, speculation spread fast, and many observers began trying to connect the story to larger conversations about Jules's place within the famous Knowles family. That's where some of the more dramatic theories start to appear. Certain commentators have suggested that Jules's public choices and headline-making moments could reflect frustrations or pressures that outsiders know very little about. Others have pushed back, arguing that it's impossible to know what's happening behind closed doors. Still, discussions continue about family expectations, public image, and whether different branches of the family experience fame in very different ways. Some online commentators have taken the theory even further. They argue that if Jules were to land major fashion campaigns or walk prestigious runways while heavily promoting the Knowles name, it could create new questions about how the family brand is represented. According to this speculation, keeping different career paths separate may help each family member establish their own identity. It's important to remember, though, that there is no public evidence confirming these claims. Still, that hasn't stopped people from debating the possible dynamics involved. From one perspective, Jules is working to build a name for himself in the highly competitive fashion industry, attending events, meeting industry professionals, and trying to secure opportunities on his own. At the same time, Blue Ivy has grown up in one of the most visible entertainment families in the world, receiving enormous media attention from a very young age and becoming a frequent topic of public discussion. Because of those very different experiences, some observers have wondered whether comparisons between the two could naturally create pressure. After all, being related to famous people can bring opportunities, but it can also bring constant expectations and endless public comparisons. That's a challenge many celebrity families face. There have even been rumors suggesting that family gatherings can feel awkward because so much public attention tends to focus on a few specific family members. However, those stories remain unverified and should be treated as speculation. What is clear is that the public remains fascinated by how different members of the Knowles family navigate fame, success, and their own individual paths in the spotlight. One question that keeps popping up among fans is this: why do we almost never see Jules and Blue Ivy together in public? They're two of the most talked about members of the family's next generation, yet their public lives seem to move on completely separate tracks. That's especially interesting to some observers because when they were younger, both sides of the family appeared closely connected and frequently spent time together. Naturally, that has led to plenty of speculation. Some people believe the separation is simply a result of busy schedules, different career interests, and the intense spotlight that follows famous families. Others have suggested that there may be efforts to carefully manage public appearances and media attention around certain family members. However, there is no verified evidence supporting many of the rumors that circulate online, so they should be viewed as speculation rather than fact. What's undeniable is that Jules and Blue Ivy have grown up under very different circumstances despite sharing the same famous family tree. Jules has been working to establish himself in the fashion world, while Blue Ivy has become a global media sensation through her appearances, performances, and high-profile projects. Those very different paths have fueled endless conversations about expectations, opportunity, and what it's like growing up in one of entertainment's most famous families. And that brings us to the big question. Has the pressure of the Knowles-Carter legacy pushed Jules to carve out his own lane away from the family spotlight? Or is he exactly where he wants to be, building his career on his own terms? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more celebrity stories, entertainment news, and behind-the-scenes discussions. And be sure to drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take on this situation.